What is going on, everybody? Here we are. It's been a little bit. So, just thought I'd run a quick little catch-up type video. Just got done editing one of two videos. Just got the Squate video done finally. I mean, time between when I film stuff and edit stuff and post it, it's just way too much time in between. But I don't know. I get like self-conscious about it, and then I think maybe I should refilm it, and it never ends well that way. And I just delay the inevitable. But I'm gonna post some shit. I have more top tone stuff to post. So it's just like a drought, and then I'm just gonna throw up all this stuff all at once, I guess. Which is not how you're supposed to do it, but fuck it. So, happy 4th of July weekend. Tomorrow is 4th of July. I was gonna do a video then, but I'm just gonna do it now. A few things to talk about otherwise, So what should I start with? Well, I whipped up all this stuff. You know what? I haven't done this in a while. Let's do a little bit of a what I'm vaping on. Clearly, this is my Bow Rat, as usual, with the control panels, and my AMBB, and my Pistachio Delight. Good old standby. This I hadn't used for a little bit. My Moab. Not that I use it regularly. I just took a while to re-wick stuff. And, I'm going to make sure this is the last stream I do with this computer FaceTime-y bullshit, because you guys deserve some dynamic range, and you're just not getting it with this kind of video. So, anyhow, my Moab with my Mob Mini Delro in there. And right here is my Billy Club Streebog collab in perfect darkness with the Unknown RDA on top of it, with some Phone Boy Blueberry Custard. Here is the block with the Kill Lab in there. And inside that, I have Butterscotch Bourbon Basic B by Transistor. I love this. Here's my Unknown and my Unica setup. The Unific with the Tripod V2. This I got a re-wick. I've been using this heavily. J3S V1 fittingly with the Ultroner Alieno. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And here is the good old Delrin Ion control panels, Hammer RBA. Sorry, there's always just so much to fucking... I gotta put more liquid in this. Mob V2 Toxic with the Stash Box 2.1. Ultimion Dope 38 Atom. Stratum V Foe with the Casperdina. Polished stainless. And here we have the good old Squape Enduro on the Og Vape Foxy. Coming to you soon. Coming to a video review near you. And yeah, the bow reel with the Mob Mini titanium, no crown, going crownless. The one marshmallow inside that. Oh yeah, and over there, there's 4 mods that I just have not rewicked, and I don't think I'm going to. It's weird. Sometimes you rewick stuff that you haven't used in a while, and you think like, oh, I'm gonna bring this back. And then you go to do that, and then you just like take a couple of pulls, and then you just never use it again. Or what's so with Cape on Light, Patabellum, BYKA, I think that's 6 or 7. Bunch of fucking letters and numbers. That's a great name for your RTA. Bunch of letters and numbers that seem arbitrary to any, random person. Oh, and then this was in my pocket. The Narda 5A with the MKey 60. Look how fucking dark everything looks. I'm done. It's over. I've said it before. I'm not saying it again. I'm not going to use this. I'm not going to cop out and use this goddamn webcam. Because it just ruins the quality of everything. I can't, I don't feel like I'm showing you anything. Oh, and then there's this. This I put together recently, and I actually have been using it, but I came across a problem I'll tell you about in a second. Here's my one and only now, Harpy Harbo R, with the Wicked Bridged 1.2 Plus. I realized the other day this is number 175 for this Delrin Harbor serial number. I wonder how many they've made. I mean, they must have made thousands, right? They've had to make like a lot by this point. Think of all the collabs and all the different versions of it. Not the Slim, I mean, that's a whole different mod, but like just the Harbor. There's a lot of these out there, right? So to have 175, I mean, it doesn't sound like a low serial number, but it kind of is. And fittingly enough, so I have it in the Limelight tank. This bridge, this is number 165 for the 1.2 Plus. So 175 for the mod, 165. I don't know, something I noticed the other day. Thought I'd tell you. So, yeah. Oh, and I have that Speaker Pro up there that, I don't know, I was trying to force myself to get back into MTL a little more, and it's just a challenge. I don't know. It's weird, because I wouldn't have got it, Boro stuff, like, I got into Boro stuff from .aio, and .aio got me into MTL, and like now I don't use the dot or MTL or any, I don't know, just fucking in some weird middle ground between RDL and DL. So, I just got done watching this video with this Hussar video. I want to show you this mod. I'd like to tell me this mod doesn't look like he's holding. I mean, he's talking about this new mod. Oh, by the way, Hussar is not going to close. Big surprise there. I mean, he was. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying none of it was. I'm sure none of it was pre-planned and bullshit. I mean, people may say that, but I believe. I mean, this guy seems very genuine, Mr. Matthews. Uh, very sincere. He always comes off very nervous and stressed out every time he does one of these lives. But his lives are very compelling. They're very interesting. I want to. He does some close-ups of it, and I'm trying to really grab that. This may work. Can you see that? You see that mod? See that blue thing? Doesn't that look like a Boro? It looks like a blue Pro down there, doesn't it? It's even got what looks like an airflow hole. I thought that was, it's a prototype for a new mod they're doing, but he said it's a 510 mod. So I'm like, oh, and there's also some exposed battery, because we all love that. Why can't we get rid of that exposed battery crap? But, man, it just kills me. But watch. See, he took it off. It's not a Boro at all. I was watching this whole thing thinking like, oh my god, how did he do that? He said it's a 510 mod, but it has a Boro in the bottom. And I always was curious like about people trying to do a mod where the Boro is in the bottom. Because, you always have the Boro and then the board underneath it, and then it leaks onto your board or your battery or something, and it's like... But then you're making more of a distance between the coil and your mouth, so I don't know. I just felt like there was room for that, and I've seen some prototypes of mods that are like that, where the Boro is low. But anyhow, that's not the case. It's just some weird design. He said that's like where the wattage buttons are or something like that. But anyhow, I thought it was neat. It's a small mod, 510 mod, and whatever. They're not closing down shop. I made that video, not like clickbaity, because like I knew at the same time they weren't going to completely close. I just knew they were closing as a brand. So when I said Hussar is closing their doors, I think people kind of heard that and ran with it, and they, you know what I mean? But that's what he said, and I'm just making conversation here. And so the Locust came out, now they're doing the Hussar RTA again, and this video is this live is really cool. If you get a chance, listen to it. It's like an hour long, and somehow I sat through it all, but so did Mark Todd, so and so did, it doesn't say how many people, Theo, a lot of people were in on this live, and it's cool to watch him to explain, I love his little, what Mark said, something like story time, like, you know what I mean, it's just fun to learn about the history of it, and he said something like they started out, the company, each of them had to put up like 2,500 euros a piece out of how many of them I forget, but like wasn't a lot of money. And he said that's probably about what each one of you bring home a week. Yeah, fucking right. I wish I brought home that a week. Yeah. Anyhow, just the history is really interesting, and learning how it starts as a small thing and progresses or whatever. So that was cool. That's one of the more interesting things about this scene. I mean, actually getting to learn about the companies and the people behind it. Otherwise, it's just a blanks, you know what I mean? You're buying from, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain kind of shit. Like when you buy shit from an SXK thing, who's the face of SXK? Nobody. You know what I mean? Who's the face of any of that stuff? Who's the face of Sony? When you think of Sony, what do you think of? Do you think of a person? Or do you just think of, like, a fucking camera or a tape recorder or something? You know what I mean? So at least with these companies, like, if someone says unknown to you, you can instantly picture what Ross looks like. You know, if, you know, or Hussar, you know, his face comes to mind. You know, that kind of thing. It's, I don't know. It makes it feel a little more personal. So, yeah, it's neat when people go into detail like that. Not that many companies do that. Not that many companies do lives. This guy's willing to do lives. I think that's admirable. I kind of feel bad for him, honestly. He just looks so stressed out a lot of the time, and sounds like he puts a lot on his plate. When you open that video, the first thing you see is a comment from somebody saying, "My locus is still fucked up. I've been PMing you. Where are you?" It's like, Jesus Christ. And you can see it on his face. He's instantly stressed the fuck out. Like, trying to focus on what he wanted to say while he made the video in the first place. Like, God, I can't imagine the pressure. It's kind of, I don't know, it's fucked up. But what it came down to, something like, he told the team, the remaining new team or whatever, like, we're just trying to fix what we fucked up and close shop, and apparently they don't want to. So he's apparently taking responsibility for a lot of the fuck ups they had, like it was his fault, and says he's kind of stepping back a little bit, like this new mod is not his actual design. So, you know, it's interesting to hear about that kind of ape news. Product wise, God, I mean, I've said before, and I'll admit to you guys now, I just don't keep up like I used to. I'd say like the only hot like items right now, like there was the other week that NTSU, I want to call it that, came out, and it's an Italian company, but it's made in China, from what I hear, and it's got like Chinese graphics and stuff on a lot of it, and or Japanese, something like that. And I don't know. Now there's a clone of it. There's a clone of the Locust too, and apparently I seen in the Ghost Bus Club Facebook group, the guy was saying like, make sure you don't. It was a joke, but it was like, make sure you don't do the wrong pre-order for the clone one or their authentic one. And then it makes you wonder. It's like, well, what's the authentic? If they're both made in China, like what's happening? You know, the company that you hired to make your RBA sold the design to a clone company. Like, I want to know how these clone companies do this. Like, how do they acquire this shit so fast, and they put it through some kind of fucking crazy scanner that takes all the dimensions in simultaneously, and I don't know. It's probably a lot easier than I'm picturing, but, like, because I know literally nothing about it, how they do it, it just makes me think, like, everything is some kind of covert fucking backdoor operation, and people are doing all sorts of shady shit. I mean, that's where my mind goes with it. But maybe it's just like technology is just that good that they can do all that shit and do it that quick. But it just makes me wonder. It just makes me think. I was talking about this. So my heartbeat, it's not working properly. I've had this for quite a while. And This was my favorite mod for a long time. This, the EYN, those were my favorite mods for quite some time. And then, you know, I got the BXR, and I thought that was kind of up there for me too, because that was like my, since I couldn't get an Ion at the time, that was my like fake Ion. And yeah, I don't know. Anyhow, this isn't working properly now. It's like, alright, now it's firing, but sometimes I'll hit the fire button and nothing happens. It's weird that it even works at all. What it is, somebody PM me. I put up a post about it asking if anyone else had any troubles, because I've always heard some things about heartbeat quality control, and this being an early one, I assumed it was just better, because I have had this for a long time without any troubles. And so someone PM'd me today asking me about it, and I started to like further analyze it, and because they asked me for pictures, guys in Greece, and so looking it up, I found if you're just looking at it, it looks fine, but upon further inspection, you can see one of the wires for the fire button is actually broke, so it has to be resoldered, and so that's a bummer. I found that out today. And in here I have Cookie Twist Frosted Amber. I don't know why they named it Frosted Amber. It doesn't fit with what it actually tastes like at all. I know they tried to, the other year they like, a lot of companies kind of like got real vague with their names because they don't want to attribute the flavors like too directly onto the packaging, stuff like that. But I mean, you couldn't just call it like, you still couldn't just call it Cookie Twist Cookie. That would have been fine. Now, like, people that don't use that regularly, they're not going to know what the hell it is at all. And it may hurt your, I don't fucking know if it'll hurt their sales or not, but I just know if I walked into a store, because that's a popular brand that you'll find in actual vape shops. If I walked into a vape shop and I seen Frosted Amber, I would probably not want to buy it, because I would not know what the fuck that means. Yes. So, where's my, here, I think I showed you this before, though. I finally got this fucking thing going. So this is what I'm going to try to do my new streams on and videos. Look how small it is. Fucking small. And, that should help a lot. Especially, you know, not having to deal with autofocus. Because fuck autofocus. I mean, fuck not having autofocus. I'm just rambling at this point already. And we're only 20 minutes in. So, yeah. What else is going on? I should have been a little more prepared. I have literally no... Usually I'll write down some bullet points if I need to, just to keep shit going if I, like, you know, start to trail off. Shout out to Paul Kira guy. He's often pops up in the comments for my videos. We've been talking more on Facebook and stuff, and he's just very down for the cause kind of guy. You know, he's real into this right now, and that's awesome. And I told him about MMM, the group MMM. It used to be called Mikey's Miracle Mile. Now it's called Mark's Miracle Mile, which makes sense because a guy named Mark runs it. Mikey, I don't know, because I always remember it being called, or being run by Mark, but being called Mikey's. I don't know who Mikey is. I guess Mikey originally started it. So, I told him about that, and that's where any of you guys can go. If you got big money and you want the best mods, the rarest, most elusive mods, the most precious metals, materials, whatever kind of mods, Boro mods in particular, go to that group, and you'll basically be able to find the best stuff. It's more like eBay though. It's like an auction. There's like a minimum reserve, and then there's an incremental value you can make bids in, and there's a time slot, and you make bids just within the comments of the post of the auction, and you know, in the time frame that's allotted, and you can come up with some awesome mods. And if you're not one of those people that wants to have to wait like for something good to pop up at the right price, if you have the money, they list these things very regularly. If you want to post something, I believe a certain amount is allotted to Mikey's or MMM for posting your thing. Now, what kind of protection they offer, like to make sure the deal goes right, I don't know. I don't know if like they offer any kind of insurance, because it's like, why should I have to pay you if it's not insured? I'm not trying to blow up nobody's spot here. But I don't even know. They may actually offer some kind of insurance for this kind of thing. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But anyhow, it's a great way to buy stuff that's, you know, that high tier kind of thing, if you're into it. So, because apparently in other countries you can buy vape stuff on eBay. Not here in the U.S. I've never seen no vape gear on eBay. But in UK, I guess, you could just buy some awesome shit on eBay. Fucking amazing. I know Alibaba, you can use eBay to buy stuff, but which I think we can use now. Before, I remember not being able to use Alibaba just a few years ago, right? Wasn't it like you couldn't even order stuff on that in the States? I think. I don't know, maybe I just didn't. No, I'm pretty sure you couldn't. So that's strange. But, yeah, I mean, how fucked up is that? You're in the U.S. and you can't use some website that everybody else can? Doesn't sound very U.S.-like. But, you know, more and more we're becoming less and less U.S.-like, so. Should drop ship, yeah. Anyhow, yeah, man, I'm still in this vape drought. I maybe, like I said before, I just gotta, not press, but ask somebody if I can borrow their D650 for a video, and, I don't know. I mean, I could be a little bit more forthright in trying to get more gear to review, but I don't know, man. It hasn't been a good fucking summer. I haven't been making nearly as much money as I thought I would. I had some shit happen with my car recently, too. You know what I mean? It's just little minor setbacks, but it's just not... Things have not been profitable. And, you know, I'm just trying to make do. So, resales are still wacky, and yeah, who knows? View counts are low. Just about everywhere when I look. But it's the summertime here in the U.S., so, you know, a lot of people don't want to fucking sit in the house and watch videos. I mean, I do. I don't want to. but that's because I have nothing else to do. I'm at work so much, you know, if I'm not at work, I'm here, and, you know, it's just, there's not enough time to really develop a social life, in my opinion. So it's just like, I have none. You know, it's just very, I don't know. This is life, eh? I think I may just keep this one short. You know, I could drag on for 2 hours. Sometimes I have 2 hours worth of rambling in me, but I don't really think I do right now. And maybe it's best. So, spare you all the bullshit. So, all right. Happy 4th of July. And like I said, I should have some videos up momentarily. I've had a few comments about making the RDA videos that I've been putting off. I'll do that. I will make sure I do that. I'm going to try to make myself do it today. My day flew by. It's already like 6 o'clock on Monday. I was off today. I'm off tomorrow. And, God, you know, time fucking flies. So, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do a top 10. Since I've been doing top 10s for everything else, I'm going to do my top 10 juices, too. For the hell of it. If you watch regularly, you probably already figured out what my top 10 juices are. But I'm going to do it anyway. And, because people used to do that. You know, that used to be a thing. God, I miss the vape reviewers of yesteryear. Before they, like, demonetized everybody and, like, banished vaping. There used to be such cool vape reviews and vape reviewers. There's such a variety. I miss Deuces Jack. Vaping Insider. I loved his videos. You know, he was like in a vape shop doing the videos, and like everything was a big rundown. Like he had lists for everything, and it was just neat. You know, just had a different vibe to it. You know, that was like pinnacle. Like I feel like I got into vaping like right at the pinnacle of it, and then like just a few months after I got into it, that's when like everything blew up with Trump and the Avali stuff. Not like I'm saying any of it's Trump's fault, but just that he happened to be the president at the time. And the Avali crap happened, so I feel like that's when it all just quickly went downhill, and then you had the flavor bans and all that shit. And then the mail ban, and by that, it's done. You know what I mean? Now we're all just clinging on for dear life. You got pods, disposables, and hobbyists. And that's it. Once they took the money out of YouTube, there's way less YouTube vape reviewers. Way less. I don't know. I mean, it's insulting to get a disposable and you're supposed to make a fucking 20-minute video about a disposable. I mean, what's there to talk about? It's just a fucking tube, you know? I draw out a fucking 30-minute video about a mod like this, but at least it's like got some shit going on to it. Disposables, like there's nothing to it. What am I going to talk about? You know? So I'd like to. I've been thinking about getting an Empire Squonk mod. Still, I've been really thinking about getting one of them. I really want one. I don't know why. I seen a video Nick did the other day. It said five things you should know about the Empire, and at the very end, you'll see he's got 2 mods he shows off real quick that are not the Empire, and one looks like the Empire, just modded, like a special edition Grim Army version or something. But the next mod also looks like a Squonk mod, but it's different because it's got like trigger fire. It's like an ion side fire would be. So that's cool looking. I still want an Empire, like a gunmetal or black. I was waiting to see what more colors they did, what other colors they did, like hoping they would do a white, and they never did. So I guess I'm either just gonna get the black or gunmetal or something. I would think about something cool looking like orange, but I've seen the orange. I don't really dig it. I need something a little more plain. If it was like Delrin or something, I would be kind of into the orange, but not for an anodized metal. Which is weird, 'cause it's not like I love a Kerbis billet box anodized. I don't know. Just not feeling that right now. So, yeah. You know, it's no secret. I've not been very present in the groups and clearly on my channel, and I still haven't completely recovered from that whole situation that happened, honestly. But I was already kind of in a funk before that happened, so you know, it is kind of on me and how I dealt with things and just whatever. You know, my interests have changed a little bit, and I think a lot of other people's have too. But I said this to someone today, like, old habits die hard, and I'm still gonna care very much about, you know, vaping and the vape scene, and I can't help but stay interested to some degree. You know what I mean? Some people, like, that get out of vaping, like, they just dropped it like a fucking, you know, like a hot potato. And for me, I mean, I'm still interested in it no matter what. It's just, I'm just demonstrating some self-control and trying to discipline myself not to just jump on every product, and really just trying to be able to prioritize my limited finances to other things while still trying to hold on to this channel in some type of way, because I just realized today I have over 500 subs now. I never even thought I would get to that point, and it's technically I have not even been doing these. I'm probably coming up on a year of doing vape reviews, comprised of both my channels that the one I initially started with too. So that would have technically had, like, I don't know, almost 700 by now, if I stayed as one channel. So that's pretty cool, you know, for what it's worth. I can imagine if I were to did this right away when I started vaping, you know, who knows, maybe I'd have a lot more. So I do want to keep, you know, persevere and because I know this is a nice outlet for a lot of people, because it has been for me for a long time. I'm not, at this stage of my life right now, I'm just not that much of a social person, like, out in the world. You know, I've been through a lot of shit, and I'm just a little more reserved now and to myself, and just trying to play it cool and low key, and, you know, and it's boring as that can be. You know, little glimpses of community and stuff like this, social interaction, albeit online, is worthwhile to me, and it does something for me. And I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the input you guys have given me. I've gotten a lot of positivity. I've got, since when I first started this channel, I did get a lot of flack because I used an even shittier camera all the time. I would drink a lot more doing my videos, and yet I was showing better gear or newer gear, and I'd still get a lot of shit from people. Comments like, your camera sucks, you're trashed, you're trash, all sorts of shit like that. And then, like, now I get nothing but positivity from people, and it really is pretty much what keeps me doing this, knowing that people actually do enjoy this to some degree or another. You know, I wish I also got as much out of it as I used to. Um, you know, if I was still bringing in awesome gear, I probably would. But right now, I feel like I'm struggling just because I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste my time. Like, you know, if I have something good, I'd like to show it. But if I don't want to be one of those channels that are just, you know, towing the line just for the hell of it. It's I don't want to end up doing something like that. So we'll see. I'm either gonna bounce back or I'm not, and or I'm it's just maybe I just need a little more time. I do have a finite idea of what I need to accomplish before I can just delve back into this stuff a little bit heavier. I'm just trying to get there. Anyhow, I'm rambling on for the last 10 minutes. So that is that. Happy 4th of July to all you Americans. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Stay tuned. I'll have some uploads readily available for you soon. So until next time, I'll see you.